It's about 20 minutes to 8 o'clock on 99 FM. Time for us to go on our daily grind, our royal hustle. This is where we celebrate Namibians who have been doing what they've been doing in spaces where they thrive in. And also at the same time creating opportunities for other Namibians to be able to step into those shoes in future. I am joined this morning by a legal practitioner, Petrie Theron. He's a co-founder of Theron Law and is the chairman of the Namibia Board of Trustees. He started practicing law in 1994. That was me in grade 2. Yeah. As a public prosecutor, where he gained valuable knowledge and skills in criminal law and court litigation. Thereafter, he started employment in the private sector in 1995. He was admitted as a legal practitioner in 97. Over the past 2 decades, he has gained vast experience as a civil, commercial, and criminal litigant. He has set up one of the largest debt collecting practices in Namibia. Mr. Theron, or Petrie, good morning and thank you so much for joining me.
Good morning, Shay. Great to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. We're going to start. This is basically a profile interview. It's all about you. I don't know if you get an opportunity to do this much in terms of speaking about yourself.
I don't like speaking about myself, to be honest.
Don't worry. We'll keep it nice and easy for you.
Sure.
Let's start at the beginning. What kind of childhood did you have, and what kind of kid were you growing up?
Well, I've always grown up in smaller communities, so to speak. I was born in Windhoek, but actually went to primary school down in South Africa in a small border town called Fulfilment. Very small. I think the whole school was 300 kids, so then came back to Windhoek, finished off here in academia. So yeah, as a kid, I thought I was a model kid. Some of my teachers didn't think that, but I think everybody's got those stories.
Yeah. What about the dreams out there in South Africa, being part of that community, that school? What kind of dreams did you have as a youngster? Did you ever dream that law would be your thing?
Not back then. I always knew that I was destined to make a difference, and make a difference in people's lives. So didn't know it would end up in being law. That dream basically got born here in Windhoek, back again in high school. I actually found that law could be one of those places where you can help people. I've always had a drive to help people, but that drove me to look at that, at the options. And I like working with people, so that helped me with that decision. Yeah.
What about some of your best memories growing up at academia, finishing off school, starting your tertiary education? What standouts?
Definitely the friends.
Yeah.
I think life is about the people you meet, the friends you make. I've still got friends from primary school. We're still in contact. We in contact with my buddies from school. Even though some of us might only see one another once a year. When we get together, it's like just time hasn't passed.
Yeah.
Same with varsity. You build some friendships there, and I think it's your friends that help you develop as a person.
Side hustles? As a side hustle is basically a job on the side that you might have had.
For sure. No, listen, have a few things on the side. I've always believed that, you should diversify. As a kid growing up, some holiday work and all that stuff, and I think it's important to do that, if I can give some advice to some young people, diversify, don't have all your eggs in one basket. Don't just focus on a career, focus on being an entrepreneur, I would say.
Yeah, do a little something here, volunteer over there, try this out. You mentioned working in law is like helping people, and people are so important to you. Even you mentioned your friends. What are the things that motivate you on a daily? What are the things that drive you?
Well, I think significance. I think we're placed on this earth to make a difference, and to make it better for when we leave. And we are in tough times. It's been like that for the past decade, and it's just come to the fore the last few years. But we can still make a difference. I firmly believe that the best place in Africa to live in is Namibia. By far is the land of milk and honey in Africa, and we should keep it that way. And it's our duty to keep it there for our generations to follow.
And to protect that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How has your idea of success changed over the course of your life?
It's interesting. When you're young, you get caught up in the material things. When you think that to being successful is the car you drive, the place you live in, But as I got older, and I also got trapped in that vast, well, let's call it a disaster. But at the end of the day, it's about making a difference in people's lives, having significance. So it's become more about leaving a legacy and being significant in that sense than the material things.
Yeah. What is the most fulfilling aspect of your work as a legal practitioner?
Well, I think the nice thing about law is that law is so logical that people miss it, and bringing that to the fore and helping people to get fairness. The one thing about law is that it's got no political connections, no religious connections, no anything else like that. It's you're equal before the law. Whether you're the president, whether you have just turned 18, it doesn't matter. And that protection gives you, and that's enshrined in our Constitution. So protecting the Constitution is, I think, the most noble thing we can do.
You're currently the chairman of the Namibia Board Medical Aid Fund. Tell us about the fund itself.
Well, those are some of the side hustles I do, not for money, but it's something that's really satisfying because, if medical services and the access to medical services are so crucial for people, and this industry has been under a lot of pressure over the last few years, and this allows us the opportunity to make a difference. Namibia is a fund that's already 30 years old. Most people don't think it's 3 decades old. And we've had a real tough year, everybody in all the throughout the industry, but we're so lucky to have turned this vehicle around, so we've actually now announced the lowest increases for our medical aid fund ever in our history. And that is helping the members. Then of course, lots of new things is coming up. I'm really excited about this new maternity program they're rolling out. That's really going to help parents, not just the moms, but the parents, not just new parents, but also second time and third time parents. You have to deal with different things. And it's the way that the fund, I love the way that they've tried to think out of the box and help people with that. So real excited about that. We've got this basic option also that we've no increases now, and it's really to help people that's just really entering into the let's call it private funding market. And then of course the thing that's really excited for, I think, for younger people is our active option. We've got lots of people, that's what I like about it, because the fund has really looked at, said, listen, people are at different stages of their life, and let's provide for those stages. So I'm really excited to see that's the way that's going about and how that can help people.
Speaking of excited, we've come to the final question for our interview. How excited are you about the future of Namibia?
Well, I think it's easy to become despondent at this stage for people, but my view in life is that every problem is actually a solution waiting to happen, and that's what I like about Namibians. We're thinking out of the box. We're reliant on each other. We're not a big community like in South Africa with so many people. We have to work together, and that is why we survive. And I think that Namibia is going to rise up from this because of how we view things. We're not South Africans. We're not Zimbabweans. We're not Botswanans. We are Namibians. We're different. And because we're different, we're going to survive.
Absolutely. Petrie, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thank you for telling us your story and for getting us back on track as to understand why it's so important to engage as Namibians and to be proud of being Namibian. We look forward to the future of Namibia and what other offers they can give to Namibia, and we look forward to one day maybe being helped by you.
Okay, not for the bad.
Not for the bad, hopefully. But thank you so much for your time this morning.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you very much.
That's the voice of Petrie Theron, who is the co-founder of Theron Law and is the chairman of the Namibia Board of Trustees. Started practicing way in 1994 and still is holding it down. And just came through to tell us about his royal hustle, the importance of participating, the importance of creating platforms, and the importance of sharing as Namibians and just being proud of who we are. It's also a wrap of your royal hustle here on 99 FM. Stay tuned for your news trend coming up shortly.